Hello students, this is example 3 from 5.2 Systems of Linear Inequalities in Two Variables. And we're kind of familiar with this type of problem, but now it's going to be inequalities instead of equalities, which we call equations. Here it says a farmer can buy 2 types of plant food, mix A and mix B, and we'll start underlining already. Each cubic yard of mix A contains 50 pounds of phosphoric acid and 12 pounds of nitrogen and 10 pounds of potash. So we got 3 things happening here. Then it says each cubic yard of mix B contains this phosphoric acid, the nitrogen, and the potash. The minimum monthly requirements are 800 pounds of phosphoric acid, 480 pounds of nitrogen, and 500 pounds of potash. So it's a minimum monthly requirement. Find the set of feasible solutions graphically for the amounts of mix A and mix B that can be used. So this is stated in a way that should evoke this feasible region. What we're going to do is create a set of inequalities, and that's called a system, and then we're going to graph it over here. So remember the last unit we looked at, we had several problems like this, and the first thing I had you do was to define your variables. So I already did that. I wrote let x be the number of cubic yards of mix A, and let y equal the number of cubic yards of mix B, because we are looking at the amounts of mix A and mix B. One thing that you can use is over here, cubic yards of mix A, cubic yards of mix B. That's on the x-axis, that's on the y-axis. So there are a lot of hints here as to what to let your variables represent. Then we're going to use the chart like we did in the former unit, where I let mix A and mix B be the column headings. And then we're going to fill in here for our row headings. Now there are 3 things in here. There is phosphoric acid. I'll just put that. There's nitrogen, and there is potash. Now, if you would like, you could turn this video off and fill this in, see if we get the same things. We're going to pull this out of our information here. So over here it says what? Mix A has 50 pounds of phosphoric acid, so that's going to be here. And it has 12 pounds of nitrogen and 10 pounds of potash. And then we're going to look at our mix B. Mix B has 20 pounds of phosphoric acid, 15 nitrogen, and 50 of potash. Now the total is stated as minimum requirements. So minimum is going to be important here. Minimum of, how much would this, 800, 480, and 500 is what it's saying over here. The minimum monthly requirements are 800 phosphoric acid, 480 nitrogen, and 500 potash. So that's what I have over here. Now minimum means you have to have that much or more, 800 or more. So 800 or more. So it has to have 480 or more, and 500 or more. And the or more part is getting us into these inequalities, the greater than or equal to. So 800 or more this is a greater than or equal to situation. So let's take a look at our system of inequalities. Here we go. System of inequalities. And later we'll find out that these are called our constraints. And the first one is 50x plus 20y is greater than or equal to 800. 12x plus 15y is greater than or equal to 480. 10x plus 50y is greater than or equal to 500. So those are the restrictions of the phosphoric acid, the nitrogen, and the potash. This one's the, was that one the phosphoric acid, the nitrogen, and the potash. Those are the restrictions or constraints to our system. Not only that, but x has to be greater than or equal to 0, and so does y. Okay. Now, what was x and y? X would be the number of cubic yards of mix A. Y is the number of cubic yards of mix B. And those are positive values. You can't have negative amounts of mixture. So that is why we put this in here. Now, do you remember what this represents? That means everything's going to be in quadrant 1. Quadrant 1. Not sure why the lighting is that way, but hey, enjoy it. So notice that I've even printed just a quadrant 1 here because nothing's negative and everything will be drawn in this quadrant. So what we're going to do is draw each one of these. I'm going to pause this for a second and I will get back to you in the next video.